President Uhuru Kenyatta is insisting on political tolerance and unity among Kenyans in an effort to achieve development in the country. Speaking at the Ridgeways Catholic Church, the president asked politicians to tone down on the political rhetoric. But a decision to leave the church before his deputies spoke and not having recognized his presence while at the podium has set political tangs wagging, trying to make sense of what is happening within Jubilee Party. And TV's Kennedy Mrethi reports on this unfolding.
President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto sat side by side in church and occasionally exchanged banter as Mass was on. It is the second time they are meeting, at least publicly, since a crisis was reported in the Jubilee Party, pitting the DP's supporters against a section of members who do not want to see him ascend to power in 2022. On Saturday, they were together at the wedding of Meru Governor Kiraitu Muronge's daughter in Karen. Their message in church today was in line with that of the cardinal's preaching, but it was delivered at different times. President Kenyatta spoke first when he was called to the podium to receive a gift that the church had for him. In his short speech, he did not recognize his deputy, relegating him to one of the faithful, but specifically recognized his mother, Mama Ngina Kenyatta, and women politicians under the Embrace movement who were dressed in white and pink.
We are committed to bringing our people together, to learn to respect each other, to learn to live with one another, because this is surely the only way we can drive our development agenda in this country.
The handshake is bringing every other Kenyan into the fold so that we can together work as Kenyans.
He then left in a huff as it was said he had another meeting to attend to. President Uhuru's move to leave before his deputy had spoken, or not having invited him to the podium to say a word in his presence, is being interpreted differently in the political circles.
Bishop wetu wa Eldoret alikuja kwangu akanifundisha something I never learned in any other church, that you can actually say the Lord's Prayer as many times, especially mambo kikiumana, unasema mara saba.
Some politicians opposed to DP Ruto's 2022 bid, who had accompanied the president, did not go back to the church after President Uhuru left. Nonetheless, the deputy president stayed back and vowed to bring together the Jubilee Party amid talk that it may be on its deathbed.
As the principal assistant of the president, I want to tell you that all of us in Jubilee, especially, we will rally everybody, every leader behind the development program we have in Jubilee under the Big Four.
Straight after the Mass, DP Ruto, accompanied by a host of Mount Kenya MPs from the region, left for another assignment in Naivasha, where another 30 legislators were in attendance, in what seemed to be a show of support from the expansive region amid the increasing tones of division. 2022 politics and the state of Jubilee Party dominated.
Ni wale watu ambao their work every day wakiamuka wanaona mianya Jubilee. Unaona mwanya umeuona wapi? Kama hujaona mwanya, wacha kusema kuna mwanya.
But as the show of might in Naivasha displayed, KOTU Secretary General Francis Atwoli accused the DP of early campaigns and neglecting the true cry of the common mwananchi. Atwoli, who spoke when he received a delegation of NASA MPs and MCAs who had paid him a courtesy call, said there had to be a shift from the DP's 2022 campaigns or he risked being isolated.
In 1966, they isolated Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, the father of Raila Amolo Odinga. It went on like that, people being isolated. Karanja was isolated. The lady was a vice president. Kibaki was isolated. At a certain time, Honorable Saitoti was isolated. Anybody who was showing that type of, politics. And Murumbi, when he realized, our first vice president, that place and in that house there is heat, he just walked away.
At the function to install the new Kisumu Bishop Philip Anyolo on Saturday, questions in hushed tones were raised when the Defense Cabinet Secretary Rochelle Omamo read the president's speech in the presence of the DP, who has insistently said he is the president's principal assistant. Some argue that it may not be much to pay attention to, but with the high political temperatures and seeming rift in Jubilee, some eyebrows have remained raised. Kennedy Mureithi, NTV.